Welcome to it, sports fans. From the bleachers with me, MKT, episode 31. What a fantastic day it is today, Tuesday. For those of you that were away for the long weekend, welcome back to wherever you are. And I was up in the north, super hot, by the way, Limpopo province. I visited some family. It was awesome. It was great. Just the heat. Wow. Hot up north, hot in Joburg. But good to be back in Cape Town. So I'm coming to you live from Cape Town, South Africa, of course, from the bleachers with me, MKT. Remember, you can just go into the description, all of the YouTube, Facebook, all of that stuff. All of the boring stuff, it's all down there. Subscribe, like, share. I'm not going to say too much more. Remember, episode 31. What are we talking about today? Of course, football, Premier League football. It is back. It's been the international break, and we're done with that malarkey. It's now time for the real thing. Back to the Premier League. Thank goodness. And now we're going to talk about the top four, right? We're going to discuss a little bit of that. Who do I think is going to get in? So I'll take you through the run-in for all the teams, and I'll take you through who I think will squeeze into the top four. 4 teams in the mix, of course, and we'll talk a little bit about that. What else are we going to talk about today? Of course, T20 Cricket. There's plenty going on. We'll finish off with a little bit of that. Raheem Sterling, of course, getting all the praise, world class all of a sudden. So I'll give you my thoughts. Do I think Raheem Sterling is world class? And much, much more. Of course, he's doing all the things for Man City, a double in the week, one against Montenegro, one against Czech Republic for Raheem Sterling. And I'll tell you if I think he is world class or not. That's the intro. Let's get into it. I'm going to start off with the Premier League, and I've got, of course, my mandatory kappa. Oh, if you don't leave the tea bag in the water, you're not the real one, as the kids are saying. You got to be the real one, apparently. That's what I'm hearing. Anyway, enough of that banter. Let's get into it. Premier League, top 4, of course. We know it's heating up. There's only 2 places, really, because City are going to win it. I think they'll win it easily. And then Liverpool will come second. They're far enough ahead. But those 2 crucial places, I'm afraid there's only 2 that can fit in there. So remember back in the day, right? Remember when it was those good times? Friday night, you guys have kept it together. You're in your mid to late 20s. And you kind of think, okay, it's Friday night, kind of coming towards the end of the month. All right, your boy calls you. He's the first guy who kind of got successful. So he's got his own place. Someone's got a PlayStation 4. Someone's got an extra controller. It's the set, right? So 4 guys. You know, we all go to the guy who's got the house. He's succeeded. We take the PlayStation 4 and somebody's got an extra control. It's the dream situation. Friday night, you're not going wild. You're not going to have a hangover on Saturday. You're going to have a good one. You might even go for a hike. Unlikely at the age of 26, 27, but you might, you know, feeling good. And poverty is the best diet, right? So you hang out at your mate's place. Everybody's there like 7:30 Friday night. Everything's good. We've got snacks. We've got meats. We're going to do this thing right. And then your mate gets that dreaded call. And generally, you know it's that call when it sounds like, hello? Oh, I'm good. I'm just chilling. No, I'm not doing anything. You want to come over today? Tonight? And by that time, the guy's already packing up the PlayStation. No, I'm not doing anything. Cool, I'll see you in a little bit. That's the dreaded phone call. Guys, if you've ever been in a group of friends, that's the dreaded phone call. His voice goes low. I'll see you just now. Oh my goodness. Like, dude, I just spent my last money of the month buying pizzas and freaking snacks. And now your girlfriend's coming over, or some girl you just met is coming over, and you're kicking us out your house. And let me just tell people, if you don't have any black friends, let me just tell you when you know a guy's serious. When somebody says, yay, puman endlinam, puman nepel. Guys, if you don't have any black friends, there's going to be a lot of sort of social integration on this show. As soon as a black person says, yay, puman endlinam, you know that man's serious. Point being, right, now it's over. Because now the guys are like, oh, we bought pizzas. Guys, there's only room for 2. Right? There is only room for 2. It is over. Soon as that, I'll see you just now, Dude's probably even going to take a shower. Remember, he's got to like jump on Netflix and make sure he's got The Notebook ready. You know, a little bit of Ryan Gosling, and we know where that's going. Only room for 2, guys. The 3 of you, Puman Pe. Get out the house. Right, that's what the top 4 feels like, doesn't it? The top 4 feels like that. There's 4 in the running, and we know there's only 2 places. Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, and the Red Devils, Man United. 4 points separate Spurs, of course, who are 3rd, from Chelsea, who are 6th. That is how tight it is. Everybody has 8 games to play. I'm going to run you through who I think is going to make it. I'm going to start at Spurs. They're in 3rd. So their fixtures, they've got Liverpool away, Palace at home, City, of course, in the Champions League. Then they've got Huddersfield at home. They've got City away. They've got City away again, right? So they play City in the second leg of their Champions League. And then they play City 3 days later away again. And then they've got Brighton at home, West Ham at home, Bournemouth away, and Everton at home. So I'm going to run through each of those fixtures, and I'll tell you what I think the result's going to be. So Spurs currently are on 61 points with 8 to play. Here's how I think there are 8 games in the Premier League, and I've included the Champions League because it's City. It's a little uphill. I think Liverpool away, they lose. Palace at home, they win. City Champions League, they'll lose. Huddersfield at home, they'll win. City Champions League away, they'll lose, which will be a relief for Spurs, some may think. 3 days later, they'll get spanked at City again. City can rotate. Brighton at home, they'll win. Of course, it's their new stadium. There'll be a new Furo. It's about 71,000, give or take. I think that fit in there. West Ham at home, they win. Bournemouth, I think, away is a super tricky one. Bournemouth are just so unpredictable. When Josh King gets going, you never know. King, Fraser, once those 2 get going, that's all she wrote. I think it's going to be a draw. I think that's the banana skin for them. And then Everton, we saw against Chelsea recently, beat Chelsea, and I think that'll be a draw. So I think of the 8 games left, that's 24 points. I think at the very most, because we know Spurs are capable of spectacular collapses. They've done it 2 seasons in a row. At the very most, they get 15 of the 24 points. Spurs will finish with 15 more points than they have now. They have 61 now. Arsenal, the Gooners, in 4th place currently. And for me, they have the manager of the year. But I'll do another podcast on that, and I'll let you know. So remember, the Gunners have no other teams in the top 6 to play. That's huge. That is huge. So they've got all their tough home and away games out the way. Let me take you through them. Right, Newcastle. They've got Newcastle this weekend at home. They've got Everton away. They've got Napoli in the Europa League. They've got Watford away. They've got Napoli away again in the Europa League. And then they've got Palace at home, Wolves away, Leicester at home, Brighton at home. And then they finish off with a tricky one, Burnley away. We use a coaster here, guys. We're not animals. We're not animals. Classy folks. So Newcastle away, they get the win. Everton, they get the draw, I think, away. And then Napoli, I think it's a big relief for the Gooners. I think they'll lose that first one at home, although their home form's been great. I just think they can't deal with that European class. Marek Hamšík's last season probably. I think away at Watford, they lose. I think they'll lose again to Napoli. I think at Palace, they'll win, because they've got Palace at home. They've got a great home record, don't they? Don't they? The Gunners, they're starting to bring it together. I think the tough one is Wolves away. Now, that's one problem that the Gunners have, is they still are shocking away. My reason for thinking that is they still don't have any characters. I mean, real characters. Torreira, I think we're seeing that first season in the Premier League starting to catch up with him after January. It happens to every high-impact guy. And he's the one guy I would say is steel in there. Guendouzi, he's showing a bit of ability, but he's still 19. You can't ask a 19-year-old to carry your team, especially in midfield. You just cannot ask a 19-year-old to carry your team in midfield in the English Premier League. And that's why I think they're going to go to Wolves and lose away. I think they'll beat Leicester at home. I think they'll beat Brighton at home. And then I think they'll lose the last day. And I'll tell you why. I think Burnley will be in the scrap. I don't think they'll be totally safe. They've been up and down this year. They'll be in the scrap come end of season. And you don't want that team that's scrapping end of season. I think the Gunners would probably have done enough by then. I think they'll go to Burnley and lose. I think they'll go to Burnley and lose. I think the Gunners will get 13 points from here. So they'll get 13 points. They're on 60 now. I think they'll get 13 of the 24 on offer. Now let's move over to Man United. Now listen, they've probably got a relief and a nightmare. They drew Barcelona in the Champions League. But I'm going to run you through their fixtures again quickly. It's Watford at home. It's Wolves away. It's an easy one. Barcelona at home. Then they've got West Ham, a bit of relief during the week. Probably it's a slightly tougher game. West Ham away, which is very winnable. Then they've got Barcelona away, which should be a doddle. They've got Everton away. Then they've got City at home. So that's a tricky one. Everton away are tricky. City at home, then Chelsea at home. So listen to that. Barcelona, Everton, City, Chelsea, all in a row. Back to back to back to back. Then they've got Huddersfield away. And on the last day, I think another banana skin and another team I think that'll be in the scrap. Cardiff at home. And we saw against Southampton, Man United are not in a fortress any longer. The results, I think Watford, they'll get the draw this weekend. I think Watford are a handful. I think Watford are a serious, serious handful. I think they'll lose to Wolves away. Wolves are a nightmare. Wolves are a nightmare. They're technically superb. They've got, I think, like half of the Portuguese international team. They've got a serious team, and we've seen now a serious coach. They'll lose to Barcelona. I think they'll get trounced against Barcelona at home. I think that'll be a bit of a football lesson. And I think that'll crush them. But I think they'll bounce back. The Hammers, of course, not great away from home. They'll get the win at home. They'll get the win away at West Ham. And I think they'll get spanked again at Barcelona, which is probably a relief for Man United fans. But then the tough part starts. I think away at Everton, not good enough United. Don't have the squad depth. I think that's what's going to cost United. You've seen Ollie hasn't rotated. Those injuries mount up, not because of any other reason than they don't have a squad. So you'll see them go to Everton. I think they'll get the draw. City, they'll get spanked, right? City, they're at home, but City are just too good. I think Chelsea will come there, park the bus, and Chelsea will get the draw. Huddersfield away, they'll get the win. And I think on the last day against Cardiff, it's another banana skin. It's a nightmare team. It is a nightmare team because they'll be in the scrap, and you don't want those guys fighting for their lives in the Premier League. We know how that goes. So I think it's a draw at Cardiff at home. I think United get 10 points. I think United get 10 points from the available 24. They've got a nightmare. They've got a nightmare. If you didn't hear me, Barcelona, West Ham, Barcelona, Everton, Man City, Chelsea. Listen to that. Barcelona, Everton, Man City, Chelsea. Nightmare. Man United's got the worst run in comfortably. And I remember losing to Barcelona. The Barcelona don't just beat you. The problem is they embarrass you and they make you chase. And that'll take something out the legs. So they'll make you chase in that first game, and then you've got to go to West Ham. That's a big ground. West Ham can't turn it on. And then Barcelona are going to make you chase again. And then you've got to go to Everton at Goodison Park. And that can be a nightmare. Chelsea saw it. Because in that second half, they really made Chelsea chase the ball. So Everton are capable. You're going to be chasing, in the space of a week and a half, you're going to be chasing Barcelona and probably surviving on about 20% possession. And then it's a nightmare. I think United collect 10 of the 24 points on offer. Watford home draw, Wolves away loss, Barcelona home loss, West Ham away win, Barcelona away loss, Everton draw, Man City loss, Chelsea draw at home, Huddersfield away win, Cardiff at home on the last day, with Cardiff clinging on, a draw. Now the team in blue from West London, who are pathetic. There's no other way to describe this team. They're pathetic. Now, these results, there should be an asterisk. Is if Maurizio Sarri keeps his job. Chelsea's results are if Maurizio Sarri keeps his job. He keeps his job. It goes this way. Cardiff away, they win. Brighton at home, they win. West Ham at home, they win. Then they've got probably the easiest of the Europa League draws. Slavia Praha away, they'll win easily. Liverpool away, they'll get spanked. They will get spanked like a naughty schoolboy in the 80s. Chelsea, I guarantee you will take 4 or 5. If Maurizio Sarri is still in charge, by the time they go to Liverpool, they will collect 4 or 5. Maybe 2 guys in the Liverpool team will take home the match ball. Might be 6. If Sarri is still in charge, they'll go to Liverpool after Slavia Praha in the first leg and get smacked. Slavia Praha at home, they'll win. Burnley at home, they'll win. Man United away, they'll get the draw, as I said. Watford at home, they'll get the draw because Watford are a handful and Chelsea are awful. And then you'll squeeze in the Europa semi in there. I think Chelsea are going to the final. I think that's Chelsea's only route to the top 4. Leicester away on the last day for Chelsea, they'll lose because Chelsea are awful. In a couple of days, I'll do where I was right, where I was wrong, and I'll go through some predictions that I made early on and throughout the season, and I'll let you know exactly what I think of Chelsea. Do it once more for you. Cardiff away win, Brighton at home win, West Ham at home win, Slavia Praha in the Europa League away win, Liverpool away spanking, absolute, it could be 5 or 6, Slavia Praha at home win through to the semis of the Europa League, Burnley at home win, Man United away draw, right? I think he'll go there and park the bus, even if it is Maurizio Sarri. Watford at home, a draw. I don't think Chelsea are good enough to break them down. Europa League semi-finals will come after that, which I think they'll win. And then Leicester away on the last day, Chelsea will lose. Right, so Chelsea will collect 14 of the last 24 points. So what does that all mean in my predictions? Remember I told you your mate kicks you out, permanently, and there's only room for 2. He's got Netflix and chill now. He's lit in the ambience. Guys, there was 4, and now there's 2. I think Spurs will stay where they are. They will collapse, like I said, but I think they've got 14 guaranteed points. That'll take them to 75. Arsenal will stay where they are with 73. So I predict Spurs to finish with 75 points. The Gooners will finish with 73 points and stay 4th and guarantee themselves a Champions League place. Chelsea will finish with 71 points and in 6th place, where they've been most of the season, even though Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is apparently now Arrigo Sacchi, they'll finish in 6th place. They'll collect 10 points from what's left. 75 points for Spurs, 73 for the Gooners of Arsenal, 71 for Chelsea, they'll finish in 5th, and 68 for Manchester United. That's my prediction of the top 4, folks. Love to hear what you think, but I'm sorry, anybody who thinks Man United with that nightmare schedule are going to finish anywhere above Chelsea, you're dreaming. And Chelsea are awful. Chelsea are awful. Tell you what's not awful is my rooibos tea. If you're not South African, I'm telling you, you're missing out. That's my top 4, folks. That's my top 4. So listen, England played this weekend. Played 2 games in the last week. International football. My God, what a waste. What a waste. Isn't international football a waste? Anywho, apparently Raheem Sterling went from being Raheem Sterling and all of a sudden he became Michel Platini over a week. Because I can't stop reading he's world class. I can't stop reading that Raheem Sterling's world class. Listen, guys, let me talk to you. Listen, I'm not a politician. I don't make people happy. I'm not a politician. I'm in the business of truth. I'm in the truth business. I'm an opinion haver. Guys, I'm in the truth business. I'm not here to make people happy. I don't need you to vote for me in the elections coming up in South Africa. I don't. I don't need to lobby for a seat. I'm in the truth business. And you don't have to like my truth, but you know it's the truth. Raheem Sterling's world class, apparently. I went on holiday to go and see my mother, and he was Raheem Sterling. I came back and he was Eusebio. Apparently he's Eusebio now. Guys, stop it. I mean, we're all having a laugh. It's good to have a laugh. Times are tough out there. I mean, I've seen the economy. I've seen the potholes if you live in South Africa. But there's, like, we can have a laugh. Not here. Let's stop mucking about, please. Please, guys. Listen, you've been around people and you thought to yourself, population control might not be the worst thing. Have you ever been around those people? Like, some people say such ridiculous things, and I worry about their mental health. I worry about their mental health, guys. Like, I'm a great guy. Like, if you're showing signs of concern about your mental health, I genuinely worry about it. Guys, I genuinely worry about it. Because when people say things like, Mumford & Sons are the greatest band ever, it's the type of nonsense I'm talking about. And I've heard that come from human beings' mouths. Cardi B is the best female rapper of all time. Like, I wish I could put Lil' Kim in front of them because she'd probably sucker punch him in the mouth. People say these things, people. Guys, seriously, population control might not be the worst thing. Guys, you got to worry about your friend's mental health. Cardi B is the best female rapper. J. Cole's the best rapper ever to live. Beyonce is the best singer ever to live. I mean, as I say that, I can just, Aretha Franklin's turning in her grave. But people say these things. People look out for the signs of people's mental health going astray. These are the people, Mumford & Sons, the best band of, Lord have mercy. Listen, people, this Raheem Sterling thing, pull it back. Pull it back. Listen, I spoke to a friend of mine this morning in Australia. He was WhatsApping me. He thinks Raheem Sterling, there's a new golden age. He's WhatsApping me, and he knows his stuff. I'm not going to lie. He's not one of these bozos. He knows his stuff. I was like, let me give it some thought. Let me give it some thought. Because he knows his stuff, right? He says stuff, I often listen. I'm like, this guy, he knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. But Raheem Sterling, world class, give me a break. Like, can we just pull it back a little bit? He's had one solid season. Because you put yourself in a bind when you say Raheem Sterling's world class. Because this is his real breakout season. Like, he was good last season, but I think you had De Bruyne probably doing most of the heavy lifting with David Silva last season. I think Aguero did a lot of the heavy lifting last season. Sterling showed in flashes, but this is his first season being not the contributor, but, filling in that gap where De Bruyne has been missing. I'd say he's been probably the third best player in their team. But can we pull back world class? Let's pull it back. Because you put yourself in this bind when you say that, right? Is you have to then say Mo Salah and Sadio Mane are world class. Because in a worse team, they've both scored 2 more goals than him. Is it a stats argument? Because he's not a better player than Sadio Mane, and he's definitely not a better player than Mo Salah, and neither are world class. In a worse team, they both have more goals. Right? Liverpool has scored 70 goals in the league. City have scored 79, so it's not even close. Aguero has been missing for like 4 games, guys. So Sterling's had his chance. Like, do me a favor. Please do me a favor. Just pull it back. The guy's had one good season. He's having a good season, by the way. He's not having a great season. He's not Cristiano Ronaldo at United all those years ago, scoring 32 from right wing. Listen, in the Palace draw earlier this season, right? Where was Sterling then? Right? Because I remember, I think Aguero got injured in earlier, 25 minutes or so, Aguero gets injured. Sterling came on with about half an hour to go in that game, disappeared. In the Newcastle game when City lost, Aguero had an off day. That's when world class steps up. That is when world class steps up. Because actually, Raheem Sterling doesn't need that much help. Like, Aguero on an off day is probably the 3rd or 4th best player in the Premier League on his off day. Right? So where was Sterling then? No, guys. Listen, pull it back. Because, you know what? Let me tell you what world class looks like. Because I know what world class looks like. Trust me, if you can see the name on the back of this shirt, it's Thomas Mueller. But I know what world class looks like, all right? Eden Hazard is in a horror show of a team. It's probably, football-wise, it's probably the worst football team Chelsea's had under Roman Abramovich's tenure. Even under Scolari, they weren't this bad. Even under AVB, they weren't this bad. Eden Hazard is in that team, and Eden Hazard only has 2 less goals than Sterling and is the top assist maker in the Premier League. Sterling has 15 goals. That's all he has. Hazard has 13. Only 2 less. In a disgusting team. Do you know Chelsea have scored 60 goals? That's 19 less. That's 19 less. Hazard's in a horror show of a team. Let me tell you what world class looks like. He's the #1 assist maker in the league, and it's not unreasonable to think Hazard could finish top 3 goal scorer in the league. He's only 5 off the top. That's what world class looks like. When it's all on you and you're still the guy in the league. Hazard shouldn't have the most assists in the league. It shouldn't happen. It should not happen. Guys, it should not happen. Right, listen, Pep Guardiola's teams, we know the wingers are the guys. And the striker's not the main guy. I mean, a lot of people forget. Barcelona had David Villa at a stage. Barcelona had David Villa. Let me just repeat that. A lot of people don't remember those golden years. They had David Villa at striker. They had Samuel Eto'o, who they were very, very happy to let go. They were very happy to let Samuel Eto'o, probably the best #9 the La Liga's seen, I'd say, in the last 20 years. You'd have to go back to Johan Cruyff and compete. I think Eto'o might be the best #9 Spanish football's ever seen. Genuine #9. I mean, Di Stefano and those guys are a while ago. In modern day football, Eto'o might be it. Guardiola said, Ibrahimovic, you can go. You know why? Because the wingers are the goals. I mean, that #10 from Argentina, we shouldn't even mention his name, but guys, he got 50 once in the league from wing. I mean, that's not world class, that's legendary. But Pedro was unbelievable. He was a double-figure guy for 4 seasons at Barcelona. Right? That's where the goals should be. So Sterling getting goals is not a surprise. If anything, in my opinion, your boy's underachieving. If anything, your boy is underachieving. So when Raheem Sterling and world class are in the same sentence, I go, just pull it back. Guys, he's developing nicely. It's his first full season. Why do the British media do this? And why do people fall for it every time? I'm going to tell you again, if he's world class, Mo Salah has to be world class. And we know he's not. Because Salah is, we've seen, the pressure of being the guy has been too much for him. Sadio Mane has more goals than Raheem Sterling. What does that tell me? And they've actually got a pretty selfish striker. Bobby Firmino, I love, but he takes a lot of touches, doesn't he? So it's not like they don't have a proper #9 who's holding onto the ball often, right? And those two are still getting goals and missing sitters, by the way. Guys, please, Raheem Sterling should have, if he doesn't get 30 in this season, because he's missed so many sitters himself, think of all the sitters where you go, oh my goodness, my dead grand could have finished that. Right? That's real. If Sterling doesn't get 30 in the league, I'm sorry. Don't give me world class. And I'll tell you what, if I have to think about it, at all, guys, if I have to think about it all, you're not world class. If it's, right? David, like, we can do a very quick test, right? We can do a quick test. I say to you, I'll tell you what, if I said, would you take these guys? Bale, Mbappe, Neymar, Hazard. Or you can have Raheem Sterling. Bale, Mbappe, Neymar, Hazard. Or you can have Raheem Sterling. Think about it now. Bale, Gareth Bale. The Welsh Dragon, Gareth Bale. Neymar, Mbappe, Hazard. Stop it. That's world class. You don't have to think about it. If I said to you Asensio, you'd probably have to think about it like, ooh, that wouldn't be a bad option, eh? If I said to you Isco, ooh, you'd probably have to give it some thought. And if I have to think about it, because when I say Bale, Mbappe, Neymar, Hazard, I don't have to think about that. Dybala, I don't have to think about that. I want those guys. Like if you said to me Leroy Sané or Sterling and I go, ooh, because it's close. And if you're not separated from the rest, you're not world class. Because world class means you're over at least 3 or 4 years, you're different from everyone in the world. Not just everyone around you. Because Sterling can be rotated, Riyad Mahrez, although Mahrez hasn't had a proper go, but put Mahrez in there. Is there a real difference? Probably not. Mahrez gets 10 or 15 games in a row, you probably get the same results, maybe a better output. Stop it. Sterling's not world class. He's a very good player. He's had one very good season, right? He stepped up this season as Kevin De Bruyne's been injured. But world class, do us a favor. Do me a favor, guys. I'm a grown man now. Can't talk nonsense to me. Guys, I'm a grown man. Out here talking nonsense. Raheem Sterling, world class. Guys, please check on people's mental health out there. Check on their mental health. If you care about your friends, some people are saying Mumford & Sons are the greatest band of all time. Cardi B is the best rapper of all, a female rapper of all time. J. Cole's the best rapper of all time. KRS-One, I'm sorry to even say that out loud. If KRS-One ever hears this. If Mos Def ever hears this. This is what people are saying, people. Raheem Sterling's world class, apparently. It's nonsense. Shut it down. Just because you got a goal against Montenegro and the Czech Republic. Come on now. Come on. I'm grown now, man. Come on, we're all adults here, guys. Come on, we have to consult with the tax man at the end of the year. We can't be saying such things. Make my rooibos turn to ash in my mouth. We're grown adults. Anybody who says Raheem Sterling's world class, please don't say it in public. Guys, just remember, your mothers still have to go to church after you say such nonsense. How are they going to face their friends knowing that your son said Raheem Sterling or your daughter said Raheem Sterling is better, is world class? They have to go to church. If you're in South Africa, they'll kick them out of a Mkholisano. If you don't know what Mkholisano is, get a black friend and get them to teach you, folks. Bazomvalela ngaphandle society. If you don't know what that means, get some black friends. Get some culture. Abadlale society, bazomvalela ngaphandle. But nguwe lo, with that son that said Sterling's world class. Awusabuyila. Awusabuyi bakuthelele ekhaya. Guys, I can't translate that for you. It'll get lost in translation. If you can't get it, I don't know. Get in a mixed race relationship and get someone to explain what umkholisano is and ukuvalelwa ngaphandle. That's a very versatile term in the Nguni language. Raheem Sterling world class, get that out of here. Get that out of here. I'm all for banter, I'm all for fun, it's nonsense. I don't ever want to hear that this season again. And if he gets the player of the season, you know it's rigged. It's nonsense. It's pure and utter nonsense. It's pure and utter nonsense. There's no way Raheem Sterling, if anybody should get it, if it's a stats thing, Eden Hazard is way above him. Because you got to take degree of difficulty into this thing, and it's disgusting how poor Chelsea is, and it's unbelievable that Hazard has the most assists in the league and only has 2 less goals than Sterling. We've had our fun now. We've had our fun. Folks, let's move over to a game I love. I love cricket. I love cricket. I don't want to lie to anyone. I only watch Test cricket, right? I don't watch the other clown show that's played over 50 overs. And then now we've moved into, we've descended into madness. Guys, I love cricket. I don't like cricket. I love cricket. I don't know if I'm going to have to pay royalties for that song. But listen to me, guys. I love cricket. Listen, I thought the point of international cricket, right? So at international level, you play for South Africa, I play for Australia, I play for England, you play for the West Indies. I thought that was the pinnacle, right? That's like, okay, these are the baddest men in the game, right? I thought that's what it was. That's what I thought. Listen, the ICC being caught with their pants down here because something's being revealed. The ICC is being caught with their pants down. Because you know what's happened, all right? T20 cricket doesn't need a World Cup. T20 cricket does not need an international base at all. Don't play T20 international cricket. It's stupid. Don't play it. Don't do it. I'll tell you why it's stupid. All right? It's not the best teams. It's not the best teams or the best players. Do you know how I know that? So many players that play for their country in T20 cricket are not an IPL. IPL is the best. Now I don't care what the reasons are, but IPL is the best. I thought the point of international sport, right? International sport, not Montessori sport of everyone gets a ribbon, everyone gets along, all the kiddies kiss and make up, everybody gets a ribbon, everybody gets a medal. This isn't it. It's international cricket. I thought the point was you have to be the best. And not just the best around, you've got to be the best in the world because you're playing for your team on what stage? The world stage. Guys, listen, India have had to move their first World Cup games for the 50-over game because it's mandatory for them to have 15 days from the end of IPL to the end of the World Cup. Right? They moved a World Cup game for a 50-over match for an IPL game. What does that tell you? Now, I don't care if it's about the money or whatever it is. It tells you the best guys are in IPL. So why do you need a substandard product that's international T20 when you've already got the best? IPL is the international, right? The IPL is, I'm sorry to say it, it's better than one-day cricket. It's better than international one-day cricket. I'm starting to wonder whether you need ODI international cricket at all. Do you need ODI? Because once again, in the short format, the best are not on display. You don't have to like what I'm saying. Just look at it. They're moving World Cup games for their IPL. Right? BCCI, I mean, they basically run cricket, right? The Indian Cricket Board basically run cricket. It was an internal decision. And listen, they say jump, and the ICC, Dave Richardson and the guys say how high. You got 1.5 billion consumers. Let's say about 700 million of those are cricket-loving Indian people, just in India alone. The BCCI say jump. Dave Richardson, ants in my pants, they say how high. Listen, you don't need international T20 cricket. It's useless. I mean, there was a stage when people were saying David Miller. I mean, David Miller was a good cricketer. Listen, T20 cricket's already a joke, right? Because it's just a bunch of people slogging. There's no skill in T20 cricket. Don't tell me the skills are elevated. I know cricket. I've been watching cricket since I was 5 years old. It's no skill. It's can you slog, right? And then you pick a lot of all-rounders and you hope your bowlers kind of keep it below 200, and then our guys will slog and see if we can get to 200, right? And it's great because Sally and the girls can get out there and oh my goodness, the fire. Did you see the DJ? It's for the mass market. I understand it. Money, money is portable power and money will always dictate. Fine. I'm not saying stop T20 cricket. I'm not saying T20 cricket must end. I'm saying stop international because now you're really taking the mickey. Because it's not the best product. 50-over one-day cricket, it's still the best 50-over product. It's not the best short version product because the IPL is. So I can understand 50 overs international cricket, and then of course Test cricket is still the pinnacle, right? That's the highest skill level. The best players still play Test cricket. Because T20 guys, one-day guys, seen them come through, very few can last when it's 5 days, they test your skills. Can you leave? Do you know where your off stump is? None of that matters in the clown show that is T20. And the biggest clown show on earth is T20 internationals. Stop it now, because I tell you where the best guys are, right? IPL, Big Bash, Caribbean Premier League, the Mzansi League, right? They're all better than international T20. Better players, better teams, better coaches. The best coaches are there. So what are we doing? And then the biggest, oh my goodness, when we talk about mucking about, Dave Richardson, as though you weren't taking the mickey enough when you sold cricket to India, Australia, Test cricket, right? And cricket across the board, when you signed the most ridiculous memorandum all those years ago, and you sold cricket to Australia, India, and England. Why do you have a World Cup? There's a World Cup for T20 cricket. Have I died and moved to ridiculous land? So it's already not the best version of the product, and then you need a World Cup for a second-rate product. When does the madness end? Guys, I'm many things. The thing about me is I'm many things, right? But the one thing I'm not is unreasonable. Can we just think about what's happening here? Because there's still an ICC Champions Trophy, and a Cricket World Cup, and an IPL, and a Mzansi League, and a Big Bash, and the NatWest one in the UK. Like, there's the Mickey and then there's this, right? Stop International T20 Cricket. T20 is a clown show already, right? Oh, like, we know that. If you're serious about cricket, you know T20 is a joke. There's no skill. For goodness sake, Richard Levy was like 150 kilograms and able to, I don't know, how many games did he play? Like 50 games. You don't have to be a sportsman to play T20 cricket. David Miller, like people saying David Miller's a good cricketer. Are you joking? He can't play forward defensive. But oh, he's this, he's that, he's Garfield Sobers. He's not. It's slogging. There's no skill. If you can hit the ball, you're in. If you can bowl 6 balls in a row, you're in. They try and pick as many all-rounders as possible. We know specialist bowlers mean nothing. They bring the boundaries in. The tracks are as flat as Bloemfontein. You can see your horse run for 1,000 kilometers, as they say. So please don't tell me there's any skill in T20. I know cricket. I'm a grown man, guys. Dave Richardson, ICC, you can lie to other people, sell this nonsense to the mass market, but I'm telling you now, you can take the mickey only for so long. Stop International T20 Cricket because it's not the best product, and soon people are going to wake up to that. And then you're going to affect the IPL, and then you're going to affect all these other things because people aren't stupid. T20 cricket, mucking about. ICC, Dave Richardson. Never loved Dave Richardson, to be honest with you. Never loved him. Never loved him. And if they don't stop this T20 international cricket, we're going to have to do something about it. Just give me IPL, Big Bash. There we go. It's fine. But it's a joke that there's a World Cup. I demand it stops immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 31 from the Bleachers with me, MKT, is in the bag. Can't wait for the Premier League to be back. Later this week is Harry Kane World Class. I'm going to talk about a lot more Premier League. Of course, we're going to build up towards the weekend. We'll talk lots about Maurizio Sarri. We'll talk lots about Liverpool, Mo Salah. We'll talk a little bit about Jurgen Klopp. Throughout the week, we're gonna be building it up. And look out for more awesome stuff. Of course, myself and Vody Miller. Look out for the Skip Past podcast. Go and check us out on Facebook. And you can check out Vody and myself talking purely rugby. That'll be later this week. And look out for more content coming up. So go to the links in the description, guys. And I will check you tomorrow. My goodness me. Episode 31 from the Bleachers. Guys, I'm in the truth business. Like I told you, I'm not a politician. I'm in the truth business. You don't like my truth, but you can go to bed knowing he told me the truth. Not your version of the truth, the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it from the Bleachers with me, the People's Champ MKT. Ladies and gentlemen, I am out of here.